She cried and climbed during the trial, but the god of transformation thought she was tenacious. She was greedy for money, but the god of transformation thought she had a personality like him. She fell asleep when she was about to become a disciple, but the god of transformation thought she was generous and unconcerned. So the gears of fate began to turn, and she, who should have been the heroine's top cannon fodder, suddenly became the apprentice of the world's #1 sword cultivator, Xie Sisi. What? You said I was a tool. You should have asked my 5 senior brothers first. The main text begins below. As the largest sect in the world of cultivation, Tianyi sect occupies a vast area. The inner gate alone occupies 7 mountains. The main peak is in the middle, which is the residence of the sect leader. There are also important departments such as the mission hall, law enforcement hall, and library. The other 6 peaks are surrounded and guard the main peak. These 6 mountains are divided into 6 peaks: sword, formation, talisman, elixir, weapon, and beast according to different focuses. The 10-year disciple recruiting conference is a major event for the sect. The elders, peak masters, and sect leaders of the sect, all those who are interested come. The head of Jianfeng didn't want to come at first, but a few days ago he had a fight with the elder of Heguan sect, and the demon couldn't beat him, so he said to him sarcastically, "No matter how good you are at fighting, you still have a lot of male disciples, not a single female disciple. Do you know why? Because women are careful and have good eyesight. Once they see you, they know you are not a good person. They would rather give up their own cultivation path than be your disciple." This is really heartbreaking. As the most powerful man in the world and the first sword cultivator, the head of Jianfeng has countless people who want to become his disciples, but he is strict in accepting disciples, and ordinary people can't even accept him. He didn't like it. He had an old friend who helped him when he was young. This old friend had a daughter with golden and wooden spiritual roots. With such qualifications, she could only be an inner disciple at Jianfeng, but the old friend came to him for his daughter's sake. He couldn't refuse the old friend's face. He also heard the girl say that she wanted to be a sword cultivator, so he accepted the girl as his personal disciple. Sword cultivators are powerful and invincible at the same level. It's cool to say it out, but it's very hard to practice. It's hard for anyone to swing the sword 10,000 times a day. The girl followed him to Jianfeng with full confidence. In less than a month, he cried and shouted that he wanted to leave, and even abandoned his own cultivation, and would rather start over than stay in Jianfeng. For a time, the master of Jianfeng became the laughingstock of the entire cultivation world. It has always been the master who expelled the disciple from the sect, and this was the first time he saw the disciple kick the master. So every time the demon from the Heguan sect couldn't beat him, he would use this to stab him. Even a clay man still has some earthiness. Every time he was scolded like this, he didn't say it, but in his heart he also wanted to take in a female disciple to shut up the demon. Spiritual roots are not important. The key is that the character must be tough. Look, and cry and climbing the mountain. Xie Sisi, the little kid who could fight back against the betrayal of his servants, caught his eye. This tenacious, unyielding, determined goal, and never give up, this character should belong to their Jianfeng. As for the other party's mixed spiritual roots, what's wrong with mixed spiritual roots? Although their Jianfeng is not rich, they still have the resources to train a little apprentice. If the spiritual roots are not enough, the resources will make up for it. So, as soon as Xie Sisi finished testing her spiritual roots, he immediately said, "I want this apprentice, little girl. How about coming to our Jianfeng? I will give you the status of a personal disciple." Xie Sisi was a little confused. What's wrong? There is no such thing in the book. Shouldn't she be assigned to the outer sect? In the book, the original owner was a 6-year-old child, relying on the halo of the heroine and being pulled by the heroine. She climbed to the top of the mountain crying. The master of Jianfeng naturally looked down on her, and this time, Xie Sisi relied on her own perseverance to climb up. Although she was crying, her crying highlighted her tenacity, which just met the requirements of Jianfeng peak master who wanted to find a disciple with a tenacious personality. She didn't give up even after crying like this. Even if she had to practice sword harder in the future, she probably wouldn't give up. Thinking that she was not happy, Jianfeng peak master frowned slightly. If this little girl was not happy, it would be difficult to deal with. You can't force her. If this girl entered Jianfeng and ran away, he would be laughed at to death. He sighed in his heart and spoke again. "Since you are not willing, Xie Sisi reacted with a start and shouted, "Yes, yes, I am very willing. Master, please accept my disciple's bow." Oh my god, there is such a good thing. The master of Jianfeng accepted her as a disciple, and she would never have to worry about being taken away by the heroine to be a medicine man in the future. Bow, must bow. If you don't bow, you are a fool, afraid that the master of Jianfeng would regret it. He knelt on the ground with a plop and kowtowed 3 times. "Confirm your identity first." The master of Jianfeng was stunned for a moment and laughed out loud. Ha ha ha. Good, good, good. He is also a person with a female disciple. Let's see who dares to laugh at him in the future. Turning his head to look at the other masters and elders, "This is my new little disciple. You elders, don't you have any expression?" The faces of several masters and elders were a little stiff. They wanted to shout back, "This is the sex disciple recruiting meeting, not your personal show." Shouldn't they take the person back and settle him down first, and then pick an auspicious day to take the apprentice to visit the masters and elders of each peak one by one? How can they accept a disciple and ask for gifts now? But there are so many people watching, and there may be their future apprentices among them. If they say they don't give a gift, it seems that they are so stingy. But it is really painful, sitting in their position. Who is not a powerful person with high power? The things they can carry with them are almost all their favorites and valuable. If you take out any one, ordinary cultivators will fight for it. It hurts to give it away like this. The master of Jianfeng doesn't care whether they look good or not. They are poor in Jianfeng. Since they have made up their minds to use resources to pile up little apprentices, they will start to make money from now on. He wanted it just now because he knew that what they had were all good things. He called out to Xie Sisi, "Sisi, kowtow quickly. This is our sex head, Master Hai. You should call him Uncle Master." Sisi thanked Sisi and knelt on the ground without getting up. She turned around and kowtowed to Master Huan Hai. Her chubby little face was serious. "Meet Uncle Master Huan Hai." Huan Hai Zhenlun secretly glared at Jianfeng Peak Master. "Where is the character? Where is the character of your sword cultivators?" Jianfeng Peak Master ignored him. Character is used against the enemy. It is too formal to talk about character with your own people.